Hi Sagittarius. I'm gonna do it's a general reading. I'm gonna do the monthly general readings first for all the signs. And then I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do, but I may flip-flop it where I do like a weekly general, and whatever it turns out as, it turns out as. And then the next week do a weekly love, the next week do just a regular general weekly. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm gonna do some type of weekly, also with some twin flame updates and any channelings or whatever comes up. I'm gonna do a Celtic Cross for you, and then I pulled some other random cards. We're just gonna see how it goes and what it turns out as. But I do have a couple messages for you. On my twin flame reading, I did get some comments, which I really enjoyed. I liked hearing about people's journeys and what they thought. So what I'm wanting to do, kind of as a thank you for anyone who does leave a comment, I'm going to try doing that for all the signs for this general reading. So for where it's just December, I don't know, 2017 or whatever, but between all the signs for just this general first one coming up, I'm going to pull a random kind of drawing for anybody who leaves a comment. I'm not sure if I'll do just like hi or something, but maybe, I don't know, but try to leave something more substantial than that. Whether it's constructive criticism, what you like, tell me about yourself, how did it resonate. I don't know if I really want to hear about how it doesn't, because as we all know, more than likely, if you're watching these videos, you know that it may only somewhat resonate with you. This is a general reading. It may not resonate at all. Apply it to your life as needed. I'm reading energies, so I may think it's love, and it may not be love for you. It may be your career. It may be a family situation. It may be a friendship. Apply it as needed, but do not make it fit if it doesn't. We all know this. But any of those types of things, just a substantial comment. I'm stuttering today, but and I'll do whoever I pick out of the 12 general just monthly readings for this month. Out of the 12 signs, I'll do a free hour reading for somebody and send them the video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, obviously. I'm doing Sagittarius first. Obviously, you guys are Sagittarius, but if anybody is cross-watching this, I'm going to do Sagittarius first because it's their month. And then after that, I'm going to go in order with Aries through. I will change it in the future, whether it's randomly polling or whoever is leaving the most comments, however it goes. But as of right now, since I, kind of at the newer spectrum of this, this is how I'm going to do it. So you know when to anticipate yours. But I'm going to try to get them out fairly quickly. This would have been out a lot sooner, but I've been having some issues lately as far as like calming my energy, anxiety, panic attacks, just not great. So I even went a few days ago, a couple times actually, to do this, and I was like super anxious. So I'm going to wait and see how this reading unfolds to see whether that is supposed to be incorporated into this reading about how I felt at that time versus now. I mean, it was like I was so anxious, and then my recording device just started messing up. Like, it was like, no, you're not doing this reading, even though you think you are. So I don't know if it was my energy messing some up. I don't know if it was like a sign that was like, nope, we don't want you to do it today. I don't know if it was just I was anxious and it didn't want me to put this in the reading. I don't know. We'll see as we're doing it. But anyways, like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't forget about, the drawing between just this general reading, these 12 that are coming out. After that, I will pull and do a random pull. And somebody out of them will get a free hour-long reading that I will mail, or not mail, I will email the video. And I will let you know in its own video who won, so that person can email me and let me know, the information, certain like birthdays and stuff that help make it easier for me to zone in on that energy. Who this will apply to is If it's your sun, moon, rising, also, if you're a Sagittarius sun, check out your moon and your rising as well, because that may also resonate with you, or this may not, and that will, or you can get little pieces, or might all come together as a big picture for you, kind of more a better idea. It helps, like, you know, Venus signs, if you were drawn here, if you're a cross watcher, you get the deal. Basically, if it resonates with you, especially your sun, moon, and rising, I look at my Venus too, but don't make it fit you if it doesn't. You get the deal. All right, so I'm gonna try this with shuffling into it. If you don't like it, let me know. I like laying the cards down first, but I figured, I'm like, let me try it and see what happens. I feel it go, you know, my videos already go long enough with me having the cards out, but we'll see. I'm gonna do it as we go, and we're gonna see how it goes. If we don't like it, if it takes too long, we'll go back to me laying the cards out first, except for clarifiers or something like that. So I'm gonna do a Celtic Cross for Sagittarius this is gonna be for December of 2017. This is going to be for your main issue, your core issue, kind of just the main thing that's at play here. Sagittarius 2017. Yeah, 3 cards. Trying to decide. You have 6 of Earth, which is like 6 of Pentacles. 9 of Air, which is the 9 of Swords. And you have the Sun. Trying to decide whether they all go in that spot. I'm feeling like they don't. Let's look at your recent past. Tell me Sagittarius' recent past. Sagittarius, recent past. I'm gonna get to this. It's just easier just to do it all. Sagittarius' hopes and fears. Tell me Sagittarius' hopes and fears. Okay. So we're going to do clarifiers too. I had cards that I pulled, actually they kind of fell out when I was shuffling the last time when I had to stop due to technical difficulties and the anxiety. So I'm going to show you those real quick because I kind of put them aside. I reshuffled. I wanted to like refeel the energy, but I kept them just in case they still applied. And it seems like they do. And there's other cards that are still going to come out, but as an overall kind of oracle energy, I keep this out for myself just to guide me kind of through rough times because she's going through like a dark time. I think that's a dragonfly she's riding, which can go in any direction. So at this point, whatever this is can go in any direction. And it has a bell on it, which means even though this is kind of a dark and gloomy and fearful time, it means like not having fear through it. Like so much so that's like, I'm not even trying to sneak through here quietly. It's like, I don't care if you hear me. I don't care if you know I'm here. I'm going through confidently. And I feel like this resonates. And it's funny because, and then two other cards like fell out and you have the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. This is the Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. So I really feel like, I'll show you this card first. This is the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you've been trying to get going or doing something, but it's been very slow, almost halted. Or you've been trying to get somebody to do something and they just are not cooperating or not kind of giving their part or helping out like you've been doing a lot. But I kind of feel in this situation like if you look, I mean, this person is like falling apart. They're being controlled and dominated. There's a sucker here that says, I don't know if you could see it, but it says, hate me. So I feel like this situation is something that it has been kind of dark and gloomy. There's been a lot of control, a lot of domination, even though you've been trying to make things better. They haven't, or if they have, it's almost like in your mind, like maybe you guys aren't on the same page thinking for whatever reason, where it's almost like in your mind, like you're trying to pour water on a house that's on fire and they're pouring gasoline on the other end. So it's like they're just not helping out. Like you both may actually be trying to control the situation, but just in different ways. You may not even realize it, but there almost seems to be this like love-hate situation going on. It could be a job, it could be something that's good for you, or maybe it brings a lot of money, or you think it's sturdy but you hate it. I mean, in some ways it's good for you, in some ways it's not. It could be any type of relationship. It could also be love. I think we'll find out more as we go on. But it's funny because in the other card with the Six of Wands, she's also, I think this actually might be like a mosquito or something, but she's flying away again. Like she's leaving a dark and gloomy time, and in both of these there's castles. So I don't know if you're leaving a home situation, could be like a corporation type thing. But not fearful, but sad at the same time to leave it and know that you have to go. But I feel like maybe it was just falling apart, or maybe you were falling apart. As the core of all this, you have the Six of Earth. And I just think that there may not have been balance to this situation, which doesn't mean either one was right or wrong. I mean, one could have been more right than wrong, but it could have been just, your views were different in what you wanted on it. But obviously there wasn't a balance, whether it was with control or money or what you really wanted out of this. Hopefully, I mean, there could have been like a touch of like codependency in here. And that's why, that's where you have that kind of push-pull thing. And, both parties may really think they were in the right or what they wanted out of it. And usually when you have a codependent and a narcissistic relationship like that too, it's going to seem like one is putting the fire or putting the water on the situation and the other one is putting gasoline. But it's a perception issue. But I really feel that, it could have been a problem as far as like even bringing finances in the household. But it could also be a career opportunity. Like you just don't feel a balance. Like maybe it brings a lot of money to you and status wise it's good, but it doesn't bring a lot of balance as far as emotionally, or you don't like it, or you don't have a good work-life balance with it. Sorry. I put my stones in my bra. Well, I'm doing this to like ground me and make me feel better, and they're coming out. TMI, whatever. So it could be you leaving a job just to better balance yourself and trying to find something that better suits what you want, and that's going to make you happier and just kind of give you better balance. And or that could also be going on, in a relationship where you're really trying to create balance within yourself. Somebody was giving too much and the other person probably wasn't. There wasn't an even give or take in the relationship. And it was causing you a lot of anxiety. Maybe that's why I felt all that anxiety when I started it. Where you're just like, it says expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. So it's like, you just have anxiety over it. You've been trying for a while, like this girl, she's been really trying, like trying to whip this into shape. It's also the Knight of Pentacles. And it's just not going, and you have anxiety about it. Like you just have lost all hope. You're like, it's not going to work. It's done. It's over. All these other unicorns are sleeping, but one. And you've just had a lot of anxiety. Like you're just probably like all out of balance. At the foundation of this, you have the sun. And I think this is just really what you've been wanting and working towards for a long time. Like you just really want, I'm sorry if I say like or a lot. It is what it is. I think you've just really been wanting to feel confident again, like feel strong, feel right, feel in your element. You want things to be happy and cheerful. I mean, Sagittarius is like that very like, yay, like that fiery sign, like let's have fun, it's just all good. And they're positive. They're an upbeat sign, which might be hard too if somebody was controlling, because they don't really deal well with negativity too much. Like if somebody's just overly controlling of their freedom, or they're just very negative, they like that bright, like sunny vibrancy and cheerfulness and new things and new ideas and new escapades and what can we do, and like this. I mean, it's all just happy and cheerful. And I think this is what you've been wanting to feel and to go back to, which maybe the situation at one time made you feel that way, but it's not now, and it's off balance. There's not an even give and take. And if there is, it's not the way you need. And because of that, you have in your recent past, I think you kind of gathered yourself enough to put yourself at least enough willpower and oomph to move forward and move in a new direction. like this girl and like the other girl in the mosquito, where it was like maybe you're not fully knowing, you're kind of taking a little bit of a leap of faith, which a card I did see while I was shuffling was the Fool. So I think you're really taking a leap of faith, and you're kind of taking all your energies and trying to put them together in your last bit of kind of strength and will and determination, and is like, well, this isn't working for me, so I mean, what do I have to lose? You know, it can only go up from here. And I think you're really taking a lot of like your masculine and your feminine side, and maybe your light and your dark, hopefully maybe through the Scorpio new moon and through these energies, maybe you've looked a little bit inside yourself and found like your self-discipline, your willpower, your value and your self-worth, and what you're willing to accept and what you're not. And if somebody wasn't willing to step up and help balance out this situation, then you're like, I'm out. Because there's going to be somebody who is. And, you know, where this is going and what's on your mind is the Queen of Air, and you're embracing that energy, that power, where objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you. Seeing the humor in the situation, I don't know, maybe later, I don't know. Either way, you're taking on that energy of, I know what I want, I'm willing to do what it takes to get there, and I'm not going to let somebody stand in my way. And if you try to, I will sting you. I will stab this thing in you like the mosquito has. Don't stop me. Don't get in my way, because I'm wanting, this is what I'm wanting and what I'm going towards, and I will cut you out if you stand in my way, because I've had enough. I think Sagittarius or Saturn is about to go out of Sagittarius's sign somewhat soon, so they've kind of had enough of being in that rough disciplinarian, like, oh, I have to do this, and showing you all the things. They just had enough, and they want to go back to this, and you guys seem like you're heading there. And I think Saturn has really shown you what you value, what doesn't, what works, what doesn't, what needs to go, what needs to stay, what you need to bring in that's not there that should have been, because you guys are on it for this new opportunity. Whether it's money-wise, whether it's a relationship that has a strong foundation and is long-lasting, or both. I mean, it could be a whole life upheaval and renewal. Like, this might have started a chain reaction where it started as one thing and then it went to like everything else, where you're like, you know what? Where else can I revive my life? And it's totally the Scorpio energy and the new moon, if this is what you're doing, and possibly Scorpio in Jupiter. But this is going to be lasting actually for a good little while. It was probably the most intense during the Scorpio new moon, but that also lasts a little bit after. But let's not forget, like I said, Jupiter is in Scorpio, and I think it's like for a year or something, which means it expands that energy. So I think it's really taking you within, and sorry y'all, and you're probably reevaluating everything. Like, I'm sorry, but sorry, not sorry. It might have literally been a chain reaction where you might have started looking at one thing and it was like boom, 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 boom. Like, some of you might even be going through some type of awakening, whether spiritual awakening or just an awakening to where you're like, holy crap, how does this affect my whole life? Like, have I been doing this to my whole life? Let me look at my job. Because this is where it's at. And you're like, I'm all right, love life, career, health, happiness, friends, family, whatever else. You're evaluating. Like, you're very, very much evaluating. Which is funny because that's how other people see you too, as you'll see when you come up. And your overall energy for under this is you have ego, which is the devil card in this deck. And it's realizing, like, this guy's wearing a mask. And it says a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So I think you're really starting to see about, how are other people around me wearing masks that I haven't seen? How have I been wearing my own mask? Like, this situation I haven't been happy about. So if you've had somebody who's been wearing a mask around you, I think maybe you've seen your mask you've been wearing, because you have to wear one. There's no way you could be in a situation long term, whether it's a job or a relationship, and not be wearing a mask. Because if you're not standing there speaking your truth and being who you are in alignment with your higher self, you're wearing a mask. If this is a narcissistic relationship, guess what? A narcissist, where there's a narcissist, there's a codependent. Where there's a codependent, there's a narcissist. And to a huge degree, most people don't say this, and yes, some are more hurtful and everything. So there is a deeper conversation to this, so whatever. But it's about who has the stronger energy. So there's times that a codependent will act on the narcissistic side, and will at that time pull on the narcissistic weaknesses, which pulls them almost into the codependent part. They will almost learn to play off each other. So there is a role here, and maybe, hopefully, you're seeing that, and you're seeing that mask. If not, if you want to know more, look up those videos on YouTube. I'm also going to be doing some myself, so they will be coming on my channel. I'm also going to do something about like spiritual awakening, because I'm in the middle of going one, and not only helping other people with how they've helped me through it, but maybe there's a chance someone can help me, because there's still things I'm figuring out and learning. So but either way, I think you're really having to look at your ego, not only in this whole situation, but in your whole life, to see like how have I felt entrapped? How have I felt like I've had a victim mentality? How have I given away my power? And how have I been scared and given away my power because I've learned and had a fear-based mentality that you've either picked up by misprocessing things in life, or is passed down from your parents, or patterns around you, or karma, or whatever, depending on how far you go into spirituality and dharma and karma and all that. But that's the sides of the point. I think you're starting to see it, and you're really starting to make decisions and take action on taking back your power, following your path and what's right for you and what you want, and aligning yourself, listening to your intuition, and just really starting to emotionally balance yourself, find out what really gets you going, what do I really want, and what do I want to manifest. The Ace of Earth, what is this opportunity that's going to bring me here? Whether it's financially, relationships, any of that. I mean, it could be all, it could be both, either or, whatever. You get what I'm saying. And I don't know. It does really speak of business, but I think it's either or. Maybe even focusing on your health and making that something better. Could be a business venture, having to deal with contracts, any of that. It could be ending a contract and starting anew, whether a business venture went bad and starting something new, whether this is a marriage that is ending and you're having a new beginning after that. How you see yourself is the Ace of Water, which really coincides with all this. So you could have a new love on the horizon. I'm not going to say you're not. It could be a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. It could also be an earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or maybe even a Leo. I don't know. It could be any sign. I'm not going to focus on that. But I more see this as self-love. Like, I think you've really realized what you've been doing to yourself, what you've been doing to your life, what you've been allowing. Realizing maybe you're playing the victim mentality that you've been given, not meaning to, like, oh, poor me. But when you act like, there's no way better or a better option, or you stay somewhere you're not happy, or it's always someone else's fault, or you're giving away your power. all of that it all plays into a victim mentality. And I know all about that. I don't pass any judgment, but I think you're starting to realize it, and you're realizing that by giving away your power and giving away control and your happiness and what you want in those fear-based mentalities, you realize that a lot of it was a lack of self-love. Because anybody who really loves and respects themselves will not stay in a situation that is just tearing them apart or not aligning with who they are. And that doesn't mean you're just like, oh, this isn't make me happy, and you leave, but you've been trying, and clearly you've been trying, because this isn't just the other person. I think this is you. I think this is both of you guys really doing like your part on it, and it's not really lining up, and because of that you're feeling like, well, I'm trying and they're not. But you both have misprocessings on patterns. So even though you're like, they're not helping, I'm putting water on it and they're putting gasoline, they may be looking at it like, well, this gasoline is how I'm trying to get you to stay. It's not aligned. Like, it's like you're trying to make it better and they are too, but it's like two completely dysfunctional ways. But you're done with it. You're like, you know what? This isn't working. I see that now. I'm over it. And I'm going on this new venture in this new way, in this way of self-love that's going to bring me better things. How others see you is you have the judgment card. And, you know, in this, it could be, you know, you seeing and hearing the call, kind of like the awakening, but it's like review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts and time to move forward in a new direction. And that's exactly where it's supposed to go. Typically in tarot, the judgment card could be literally hearing a call, but it could also be the resurgence of a love. Maybe. I mean, maybe there is a resurgence of an old love here. I don't know. You definitely have, I think, the resurgence of your own love coming. And if you do have a new love coming in, please don't let that derail you from your finding of your own self-love. Maybe through that, you'll also find this situation remedies itself by leading by example of loving yourself, and it might initiate something with them. But at the very least, I think it's you hearing the call of what's best for you and what you really want. And they see you really assessing things and going for it and really making that judgment. Maybe the judgment of, like I said, a marriage ending, of having enough, of making that judgment of what's working, what's not, what's to stay, what's to be cut out. Your hopes and wishes is the Queen of Fire, which is the Queen of Wands, which makes sense. And I think this is more a wish. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. I think what you're desiring is to want to come back into your power, to come into yourself, like the Sun card. You want to feel powerful. You want to feel creative. You want to feel happy and energetic and on top of your game and fun and flirty and adventurous, open-minded, seeking wisdom and knowledge, open-minded, just wanting to venture and not wanting to feel constricted and bound and held back and controlled, like whatever this situation is, how it made you feel. I mean, look at her. I don't know if you can really see, but she's just like, she's got some sass and some power, and it's just like she's like, I'm the bitch and I know it. Like, she's just completely in her power, and it's like she knows now. Look at her face. Like, she knows now. She knows what's up. Your likely outcome of this situation, you have the Knight of Water, the Knight of Cups, and you have life experience, which is the Tower card. I think this whole situation, again, it could be a water sign coming in, someone showing you love, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. But, and maybe this changes your whole world. But I more see it as this may even be you, and you're not fully done yet, but you're in the process of learning how to love, learning how to show love to yourself and others, and balancing your own emotions. And this whole process has kind of changed your whole life. It's almost wiped out an old foundation and is creating a new, stronger one, built on a better foundation and one of self-love. And really, anytime you walk into a situation of self-love, like, I can't really see that not being a strong foundation, to be honest with you. But I think the whole process was the tower moment for you, so it is going to tear that apart, but it's also going to bring it back together. Just, this is a significant thing that's happening in your life, and I think it's meant to be. I think it's written in a lot of Sagittarius' stars right now, which probably has a lot to do with Saturn also being there for so long, and what's going on with Scorpio. I mean, this is a total, like, this is Scorpio energy, the Tower card, as is the Knight of Water. Maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio, but it could be any water sign or any sign. But I think the whole situation is causing a tower moment, not only externally, but also internally. And you're having a lot of revelations and just a lot of life changes, and it probably did create some emotional upheaval within yourself, and you're learning how to better balance your emotions and better balance what you want. You could also be assisted, though, by a water sign, and they could be changing your life, or maybe this water, maybe you're dealing with a water sign and they've stepped up their game. But I really get more of the vibe that you exited the situation. Let me pull clarifiers on top of this. I don't know if I'm going to use all of mine. Tell me about the Six of Earth. The Hermit. I'm just going to take that top card. That was way too much. Tell me about the Nine of Air. I have the Ten of Wands. I'll show you the cards too. Tell me about the Sun card. That was fast. You have the Four of Pentacles. Tell me about the Chariot. You have the Knight of Cups. Tell me about the Queen of Air. You have the Six of Cups reversed. Tell me about the Ace of Cups. Renewal. Judgment card. We got the Queen of Fire. And we got the Knight of Water, life experience. we'll get into this and move. So to clarify the Six of Pentacles, you have the Hermit card. So I think you were really, again, going inside of what is going to create balance in this situation. You could also be dealing with a Virgo. But you're trying to look within. And this guy is like, he went within, but it's almost like it's like, aha, I've figured it out. And like, instead of holding a lantern that has the light, like the light is coming from him. So you've realized the answer within yourself to create balance in your life. And for the Nine of Swords, clarifying that, is you have the Ten of Wands. So you are just burdened and have anxiety, and you are just done with it and just done with that phase. You have had to go within and look within yourself because you're like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep being in this state of mind. I can't keep being emotionally and just energetically spent and giving so much of myself. For the Sun card and the Foundation, you have the Four of Pentacles, which is you trying to come back to a balanced place, more into who you are, and just come back to being balanced and feeling like this, feeling good again, feeling like that fire sign that you are, because I don't think you have in a long time. The Chariot, your recent past. So this is either you going towards a water sign, like there might literally be a water sign and it might highly be likely of a Scorpio, or you're moving on from a water sign or a Scorpio, or you're like, screw this, I'm taking my cup of self-love that I figured out about, and I'm going on my own voyage with it. It's a little bit emotionally bumpy, but I'm moving forward with it. I'm moving on. I'm getting myself together. I mean, look, he's all armored up. Maybe because this is kind of controlling, it might be hard for you to get out of it first. You're like, I'm taking my love with me, and I'm armored up for any fight that might come along as I exit the situation and move on. But you also very likely could be going towards a water sign or away from a water sign. Yeah, but I get this a lot of like self-love, like you're taking your love with you and you're like, no more. I'm not gonna give to a situation that's not gonna give back. And then to clarify the Queen of Swords, you have the Six of Cups, which none of these are, I don't have any of these reversed. It popped out reversed, so I kept it that way. And you have the Six of Cups reversed. Which I think is you cutting out this past. Like, even though you have fond memories of it, you have a lot of nostalgia, and in ways that it did really serve you and it was good for you and you loved it. This nostalgia and this past, whatever's kept you bound here in a way and not wanting to let go. It may, like Six of Cups, like could be like kids. Maybe it was somebody from your childhood, or just the nostalgia of being together so long, a job being there for so long. It's so much become a pattern in your way of life and your interwebbed minglings that it's so hard to get out of and imagine your life away from the situation or the person, that it's really hard for you, but you're just like, it's harder to stay. Kind of like that saying too of, I love you, but I love me more. And I think you're really cutting all that away because, nostalgia doesn't change the reality of your current situation. For clarifying your Ace of Cups or Ace of Water, you have, there's 2 Devil cards in this deck. You have the one that is like, you know, love, like almost like a lover's. And I see it more as like a toxic love situation. And if you look too, like this is you cutting it out. You know, here's the toxic part. I mean, they're really hanging on. They're gripping. They're not wanting to let it go. And you're really kind of speaking your truth and really working hard to cut it away, which is probably why this guy has so much armor on as he's taking his love and exiting the scene, because they know this is not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. Sorry, that's not funny, but it's not going to be easy. Because it's very toxic, and not only is it not going to be hard because of the other person, but it's not going to be hard too because you do have emotions in this as well. So, but you're working very hard to keep yourself guarded, protected, to get to this outcome, your new outcome. For the Judgment card, clarifying that, you have the 3 of Cups. Which could be you, they could see you being happy with this new opportunity. They could see you making a judgment about this relationship because maybe there was a third party situation. I don't have a lot of third party situation in this, but I mean, it's possible. Or maybe it's just that maybe there was. I mean, you have 3 cups here and only one of them is full. So, or maybe you're making a decision either on letting this go because you filled up your own cup and they don't have any, and you know that's going to be an unbalanced situation. Or you found a cup that was full that could give back by somebody else, hopefully just not by somebody else. But you just making that decision to cut that away and end this decision and move forward and take care of yourself. And like I said, literally filling your own cup. Like you're not worrying anymore about helping to fill other people's cups. You're just filling your own. It's like you see now. Like, see the eye? Like eyes wide open. Like you see now. You see what you've been doing. You see what you've been doing to yourself. Even what you've been doing to other people unintentionally. It's kind of the whole game of it, you know. And you've seen the game for what it is, or at the very least, you at least see what you've been doing to yourself and how, even though you view it as, oh, they have me locked down. No, you've had yourself locked down that whole time. Queen of Fire, clarifying that, which is the Queen of Wands. You have the King of Wands. So there is a chance this is a relationship. You know, it is your hopes and fears. So maybe this relationship is kind of what scares you. Maybe the King of Wands, if this is your other half or was your other half, is kind of what bothers you and makes you anxious. Maybe this is a new love coming in that I was talking about as a possibility. I really hope that you're not just jumping from one love to the other, though. I hope that at least in the midst of this, there is self-love going on, which I do see here. So I hope so. I hope so. Like, don't just jump from one to another, because otherwise this cup isn't going to be full for very long. Unless you just so happen to find somebody who knows about self-love and they help you grow while you're with them. So I hope so. Fingers crossed. But another way I see this, because you have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, is I think you're coming into your balanced side. The only time you're really usually balanced is when you are balancing your feminine and your masculine energy, and you have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. So I think that, you know, in a way it's kind of fearful because you do have to go through some stuff to get there and figure that out. but it is what you hope for because you want to be balanced. You want balance to the situation. You want balance to yourself. You want to feel like this again. And in doing that and through this process, you are having the Queen and King of Wands. And you're taking action. The feminine energy is usually kind of that receptive and loving and going within energy, the nurturing energy, being receptive. And the masculine energy is usually about taking action. So if you're imbalanced in one way or another, you could always be like, I want this, I want that, but not doing it, and you're too much in your feminine and not masculine enough. Or you could just be action, action, action going, and not sitting back and relaxing and letting energies come to you and not always having to like bulldoze the situation. So it seems like you're almost finding a nice balance between the two of, okay, I'm going to be in a receptive mode while I'm working on my self-love, but I do have to take action to clean up this situation in order to get there. Sometimes when you're coming out of something that can kind of be like this, no matter what situation or person it is, sometimes you got to take action first, clear house, and then sit back, kind of do the receptive, see what comes, evaluate things, and then start to take action again, but in a balanced, then moving forward, balanced, receptive, and masculine kind of way where you're creating balance. It's funny because all things in life mirror what's going on within us. So this situation was clearly mirroring what was going on within you. I think you were over giving and somebody was probably over receiving. So now what you're doing is kind of clearing away, getting things out. You are having to take action a little bit longer, but then you're going in your receptive mode and looking within, like this Hermit card, going within, looking about self-love. What do you want? Reevaluating. So when you move forward, you are then balanced with the give and the take. And then anything then that comes forward in your life is going to mirror that give and that take because you have that balance of give and take within yourself. So bravo, if that's where you're going, it's going to be a great, sturdy, and long-lasting opportunity and start that you're walking into. For your likely outcome, where you have the Knight of Water and the Tower, you have the Hangman, which is a Pisces card. This person is bound, like they didn't put themselves there. I mean, you kind of always do, but sometimes the Hangman, and depending on the deck you're doing, sometimes it comes up like the person put themselves there to look at the situation from a different way and gain a different perspective, or it's just to take a rest and a step back to gain a different perspective. This one more is coming across to me like this person really didn't have a choice, even though we always have a choice. And they're kind of stuck and bound there by fear, maybe even temptation, maybe even our lustful or just our fear-based mentalities, our ego. And this is at the bottom of your deck, your overall energy. So maybe you've been stuck in this situation and kind of feeling like you're bound here. And it's basically been your ego feeding you fear-based mentalities that you're not good enough, you can't do it, you're not strong enough, you have to stay, you're a mom, you're a wife, you have to be married, or you're not good enough. If you divorce, you're not good enough. Who will love me, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be, money, worries. I mean, anything that's a fear-based mentality that's been keeping you in this. And you have the Knight of Wands. This is a very fast-paced, fiery, and sexual energy. Quick in and out. Usually this person is not a good, even give and take. They're also very guarded up. They also come across as kind of fiery and controlling. So you have the Four of Cups, boredom, discontentment, maybe even confusion. And there's two cups here that have water in them. Maybe you've been confused thinking that both your cups were full and thinking, oh, this is us this whole time and this is our grand relationship, but you realized that these were actually your cups. And that this type of energy and this type of energy in no way shows love, not only to others, but especially not self-love. It was an illusion, I think. I think you're finding that it was an illusion. And you see now, like there's another eye and you're moving on. This is the Six of Swords, so in the Rider-Waite, it's moving on to calmer waters. Mentally, mostly, but in your life. And you're either changing or you're just... I think you're just putting a death to a situation. So this is Scorpio energy, and then you have the Tower, which is Scorpio energy, and then you have cups all over the place. So, I don't know, but this is putting an end, I think, to something else and creating something new. So yeah, you have, it's coming from his stomach, like the birth, and while you're creating something new, like you're being guided. And these are all the people in the situations in the background that the Queen of Swords just started slaying. And the thing that you're creating is emotional. It's blue, so I would think it's like emotional. You're becoming more emotionally balanced, like it was saying. So I think this Knight of Cups, it could be someone else, but I really get the vibe it's you. I think this is the new you that's coming out, and you're following your guidance through this whole thing. Like, you were trapped and just by an energy that just wasn't that great. It was fast in and out, selfish, worried about themselves, maybe worried about sex. You could have literally been having like third-party situations, sexual control, manipulation, emotional manipulation, illusions about where the love lies. Thought this was yours. That these were yours, but they weren't. You thought there's more cups at play than you thought, though, I feel. But you thought yours both were full, but nope, these were yours. And you saw it. And you're moving on. You're either putting an end to the situation or you're highly changing it, but I think you're putting an end to it. His sword is through his head. All these people are like, they're dead or taken care of. And this is the new kind of birth that's coming out. And you have the Tower, you know, the breaking down of something. That doesn't mean the situation can't come back. Maybe you leading by example will bring it back to a healthier state. Maybe not. Maybe not. But maybe. You know, we won't say no. But that's funny, at the bottom of the deck, you have the Fool card. Like I said, it came up in the other thing too, but you have it here too. And you're just realizing this guy on your back that's been whispering in your ear the whole time, he's just blowing smoke out his ass. And you're just like, no. Nope, nope, nope. I'm over it. I'm on to new and better things. Kind of curious what we'll just pull up if we pull one card on all this. The card with... Do I want to take this? Tell me about this Ace of Earth, Ace of Pentacles. That's crazy. I just realized I didn't pull a card for the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Got the Ace of Pentacles. So this devil card, I mean, you can see it. This is the other devil card. It keeps coming up too. I wanted to come up under the full, the other one. But you have the Nine of Wands. I mean, you're done with the fight. Like, you've got like either one fight left in you, or you're just done with everything else. I think you're taking this one fight, like you're so exhausted from all this that you're taking this little bit of ounce of energy that you have left, and you're like, no, I'm not spending it on you. You have not served well. All these other ones have been like, not worked out. I have not put my energy in a good place. I'm going to put it into me, into something that is long lasting, and I'm going to create it through self-love, because almost anything you create through self-love is going to give you more concrete and long lasting results. So this one fight you have left, you know, to make it, to get you to that, which you also have the Ten of Wands. So maybe what's crossing you and what's coming over this whole situation is this new beginning, which is, you know, because you have that in your crossing. So it's almost like what's crossing you is you need this extra wand that you spent, got you this Eight of Pentacles. That's kind of cool. But when I pulled other cards for the Eight of Pentacles, because I didn't want to pull it for all these, I don't feel it was needed. You know, you have this Storm card where you can almost see like it's dark and gray. Like in this, behind all the scenes, it's dark and gray. It was dark and gray through this journey, but the light is starting to come out. This opportunity and this new way that you're going is bringing you light and happiness, the sun. This is a compass. Like, you know which way to go. You are following your true path and know which direction you're going. This direction is bringing you out of this darkness into the light. And look what you have. You have the sun, which is what you've wanted through this whole reading. The sun, to feel that fiery energy that you are. So that's exciting. I'm excited to see that. Like, it's kind of crazy and cool how that came together. I'm going to pull another one of these for you too, because when I was shuffling this deck, because I love these, they're beautiful. This one just wanted to come out. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll be guided to it. But this is also a 37. If you add them up numerology-wise, that's a 10. Which, A, not only means you're at the end of a cycle. So this was like a learning lesson, a cycle for you. But if you add together 1 and 0, it's a 1. It's about yourself. It's about your identity. It's about self-love. So not only do you have a 10, but 1 and 0 is the self. And it's the ideal course of action. And so at first when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, is she going to it or is she going away from it? And what I kind of see, because I don't know if you could see it, but there's a lot of people that are almost like watching her go or hoping she'll come back. And here's the castle again. You have a lot of castles in this. So I feel like you're leaving some type of foundation or something, whether it's an organization for work or whether it's like your home, something that you've built up, and there was a lot built up to it. But this ship right here in this river is moving in the direction away. The wind is blowing towards the opposite direction she's looking. So what I kind of get from this is like, seeing this, how the sun is what she wanted, and there's so many animals, and there's flowers, and there's butterflies, and there's light, nature, like life, that fire, that creative energy, like nature and abundance. It's all behind her where she's heading to. You have animals and flowers and water and just life, and I think she's just taking a minute to stop and look back and almost reminisce, you know, that nostalgic feeling, like, but she is making the right decision. Like, maybe there's even people back that are like, no, don't go. We'll miss you. Like, don't go. But she's still like, I have to. And it still is sad for her. but she's taking her masculine and her feminine energy, and she's doing where she knows she needs to be going. What is her path? I'm going to pull another card from this, and I'll read these real quick, and then I'm going to pull 2 other oracle cards, and then we'll be done. But we'll see if this wants to show you something else, because this just fell out. Sagittarius, December 2017. You may just want to be this card, and that's just how it came out. So you have be spontaneous. Which is 3 + 1, which gives you 4, which is stability. So through this course of action and being spontaneous and doing the action, even though it might be scary, it is going to bring you stability. It's going to bring you this balance you've been seeking of the sun. Let's read this real quick. I just like the meanings in them. Ideal course of action. Whoop. It's easy to be overwhelmed in the planning of a new endeavor. Simplify your plans. Clearly envisage, what you would like, envision what you would like to accomplish, and find ways to ensure you can stay on path. Eliminate self-sabotage or other behavior that might derail you. Determine what you desire next. Do this through daydreaming and visualizing what delights and inspires you. Trust that this is an important phase that is necessary to maintain alignment and clarity. Yeah, so don't be held back when you start thinking about this nostalgia. Or ego, if it's your ego or fear-based mentality, or if another love comes in, I would ideally give yourself a minute to kind of regather yourself. But at the very least, don't let go of your self-love. Be spontaneous. When you are busy, rushing, stressed, worried, or overwhelmed, it is easy to lose track of the simple things in your world that bring you joy. This is a huge nudge to remember to create some fun. Rediscover enthusiasm and fascination through adventure and spontaneous happenings. Engage with your life again and take in your surroundings, observing the importance of living life to its fullest. Decide to do something for the pleasure of it and see where life takes you. So have faith, and be creative with this and what you're going to do. Try not to let your fear-based mentalities kind of override you. Don't let things stop you or come in the way. Even if it's a new love or, this person trying to stop you. It's both you, but you get what I'm saying. And just have fun with it and be creative. Don't forget that this whole process, yes, it's going to lead you to good things, but it doesn't all have to be crazy and like this tower moment all the time through it. Like, you could still have fun while doing it, and, it'll make things a little bit more pleasurable for you, a little bit more lighthearted, because I get this is a very emotional, it's an emotional time. So I get that. Try to have some lighthearted memories while you're learning about yourself. Lighthearted times and thoughts. You get what I'm saying? Try to have some fun through this. It doesn't all have to be chaos during your transition to finding your light at the end of the tunnel. Let's see. A message for Sagittarius, December 2017. Message for Sagittarius, December of 2017. Message for Sagittarius. So this is 23. So it's kind of like the change that you're going through. Yeah. So just like that other message was to keep going and be spontaneous. Don't let things derail you from your plan. Like I was saying, whether it's this person or another love life, or it just gets too rough, you have the golden mermaid. I'm going to read you the poem part first because most of them are pretty cool. I like them, and then I'll read you the message. It's easy to become complacent, to lie back and be content, with tolerable circumstances to give up and give consent. To common expectations and meagerly pursuits, it is easy to traverse along the least resistant routes. Beware of complacency. It is easy to become complacent with one's situation and surroundings, but it is dangerous too. The status quo is simple to maintain, but ceasing to strive for more leads to stagnation, which is not what Sagittarius is about. Even if you are not dissatisfied with your environment, do not be afraid to set goals and actively pursue them. Get out of your comfortable rut and push yourself. Stretch your mind, your body, and your boundaries to see what you can accomplish when you put your mind to it. You have been in the same place mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually for too long. And it is time to move on to bigger and better places. Keep in mind, however, that not everyone around you may be prepared to or even interested in moving up with you. This may be a move that is yours alone. This person may not be ready, and this is probably why you're all guarded up, because you know you want to make this move and you want to go forward, and they may stop you, or they may even say things that make you feel like, okay, well, it'll get better. Oh, well, they are going to try this or that. I mean, it's up to you, but it's complacency. Or if things kind of get too hard or too dark, don't stop. Like, have fun with the situation too. Be lighthearted. Look into yourself. Learn self-love, especially self-love. The self-love is going to take care of all of this. If you have self-love, I don't really think complacency has a place here, because you're just so much like, nope. Complacency is something that happens when somebody has a lack of self-love. So my biggest message here is going to be for you to focus on that self-love. Sagittarius, December 2017. But don't let somebody stop you. Don't let them derail from you. And who knows, if it's something you really do like, don't focus on this. But, leading by example could help that person eventually come back around. Or something better is coming. Either way, that's not your focus. This 8 of Cups is your focus. All right, so... Probably not going to read these messages. These are your last messages from me. You have forest with breath. I'm going to try, I know I say it in a lot of my videos, but I'm going to try to do it in the daylight so that you could see the light glaring in the cards. Lake, stillness. You have full moon, completion. And you have rainbow, blessings. So it's really asking you to kind of go within and look within, take a step back, take some breaths, relax, breathe. Maybe even breathe meditation, like breath meditation. You can look it up on YouTube. But meditate and focus on what you want, what makes you feel alive and want to grow. And it's like breathe and be still. Like I really get like meditation from this. Like really look inside yourself and focus on what you want. Focus on how you feel about this situation. And I don't know if it was like the Taurus full moon or if you have this full moon that's coming up, which I think is in Gemini. Yeah, because I think the new moon will be in Sagittarius. But maybe it's knowing to go inside and look and see what's growing and what's not in your life and where you want things to grow in the future. Like, go within and look within yourself. You have breathe and stillness. I mean, come on, that's going within this Virgo card. Meditation. Look at what needs to be wrapped up in what's done, or even if it's not the complete situation, but the cycle. Because if you go in and you do this work and you see what you really want and you complete and cut things out that aren't serving you anymore and you focus on this self-love, you have a lot of beautiful blessings that are coming. I mean, you have the rainbow and it's all above. It's like blessings from above. It's like, yay, she got the message. She followed the path we've been showing her to go towards. And now you're going to feel balanced like this again, and you're going to have these blessings of this new life, this new way, this new opportunity. I mean, in the Rider-Waite deck, this Ace of Pentacles, is the pentacle that's handed out by the universe. So you're being guided to go after your new venture, your new journey, your new opportunity. And again, this doesn't just have to be love, even for one person. Like, it could be be a spiral effect in your life where you're just starting to reevaluate everything and what makes you happy and where you felt stuck. That's what happened to me. So really evaluate some things and see what blessings you're ready to have come in your life, because they can't come if you don't complete other cycles that need to be moved out. And the only way you can do that is by going within, meditating, looking and seeing what you want, and focusing on ways of loving yourself and putting that first and foremost before anything else. So I love you guys. Thank you for coming along this journey with me while I'm doing this. Don't forget, leave comments, tell me about yourself or your journey or anything about this reading or whatever, anything other than just hi or whatever, something a little bit significant. But don't forget about, from these 12 readings, the free reading, the random reading, somebody who wins. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to check your moon and your rising sign, or your sun sign if this is one of your other signs. You get the gist. But I thank you very much, and I love you guys, and I will see you soon again, because I do plan on doing weeklies. I'm just not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, whether I'm going to do like a general weekly and the next week do a love weekly and the next week do another general weekly and a love weekly, or whether I'm going to do them like right back to back with each other. But I do have to fit in other ones too, because I do want to do some updates with my twin flame readings, and I want to do some other random videos too, kind of about spiritual awakening, or do some narcissism and codependency ones, I think. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas that I'm sorting through right now. I'm a Gemini moon, so I'm like bing, 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 and just seeing which way I want to go with it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this reading. I hope it really helps. If not, check out your other signs, or the next time will, or you could book a private reading with me to focus just on your energy. But either way, I'm going to go. Mickey, stop dragging this out. I could talk forever. So I love you guys. Thank you very much. And I'll talk to you again soon.